Hey kids, pre-video monologue here. Regardless of whether or not you're a long-time viewer of Build Talks or you're brand new here, I am always taking new builds, and you can easily submit one if you want it to be featured in a weekly episode. All you gotta do is just join my Discord, react to my rules, because you would be amazed at how many people don't do that, and then head on over to Build Share and post to your heart's content. Crucible or PvE, no restrictions. I hope to see some new faces in there after this upload. Also, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. Let's get this video going. There's just something about warlocks, man. Out of all the classes in the game, they are by far the most versatile. The exotics are unlike anything I've ever seen for any other class. They can do anything. They can go anywhere. The builds are beyond any definition of viable that I've ever seen in any normal dictionary. So with all that being said, given that warlocks are the end-all be-all, based on infinite grenade regen, the circular healing in their skill trees, the astronomical amounts of damage, leads me to the conclusion that the only thing that could make warlocks even better is if they could fuck a chair. Please don't ask me why this game is in my Steam library. Verity's Brow, much like Nezaric's Sin, is an exotic that I've discussed many times on this channel. Nezaric is the neutral ability game, Verity's Brow is the neutral grenade game. It's a fantastic exotic, one that I genuinely feel is not utilized enough in high instance activities. It can open up for some serious splash damage in master ordeals, and it slaps with any grenade that you choose, too. This thing is wonderful. So here's how it works, for those of you who don't already know, or those of you who are still new to the game. Energy weapon kills trigger death throws, which allows bonus grenade damage for 10 seconds while also granting grenade energy. It stacks on itself 5 times. Throwing a grenade with any amount of stacks of death throws will give nearby allies extreme grenade regen for a brief amount of time too. It's called the fourth magic, even though it's not really magic, it's just explosives, but whatever. Let's take a look at some skill trees real quick. We're looking at the attunement of Chaos for 2 core abilities, those being Chaos Accelerant and Entropic Pull. Also, I don't know who the fuck wrote this, but I'm just gonna take them at their word because vortex grenades are the only things I ever use anyway. I'm sure there's likely some testing I could do with Axion bolts and scatter grenades, but yeah. Honestly, I'd rather go play Chair fucking Simulator than test grenade damage. Anyway, Chaos Accelerant. Hold down your grenade key to overcharge it and increase its damage by a significant amount. It's really strong and it's great for ad clearing. And then we've got Entropic Pull. Strike an enemy with a fully charged melee attack to drain their life force and convert it into grenade energy. Now, I feel like I might have said this once before, but that is metal as fuck. Anyway, moving on. Now let's talk exotics. We've already discussed Verity's Brow, but there are a few things we can take with that to make it even more of a fucking nightmare. If you don't have Breach and Clear yet, take Tractor Cannon. Debuffing any priority target is key in pushing higher grenade damage because allegedly, Death Throws stacks with the Overcharge multiplier, which stacks on the Weaken debuff. Allegedly is the key word there. My footage claims that it does, but there's always at least one person in my comments that insists I'm wrong about something, so I'm already bracing for it. If you do have Breach and Clear, fuck Tractor Cannon. Take Witherhoard. It'll trigger Breach and Clear on a direct hit and weaken your target while burning them as well. You can stack a second burn on top of that with the Vortex grenades as well, which makes for some real feisty grenades, let me tell you. On the topic of mods, you don't need anything crazy. If you've been playing the seasonal activity, then you should already have everything you'll need from all the decrypted data and the artifact unlocks. Starting with the Helm, we've got 2 stacks of Ashes to Assets and Well of Life. For your gauntlets, I'm using 2 stacks of Impulse Recycler, which returns grenade energy on grenade kills. Classy. For my chest, I've got Radiant Light because low strength tiers make me nervous, and because Entropic Pull restores grenade energy. On the off chance you fastball a grenade, miss your target, and hit absolutely fucking nothing, Entropic Pull is there. And if you're anything like me, that's gonna happen often. On my greaves, I've got Recuperation, Absolution, and Explosive Wellmaker. You're gonna be throwing out grenades like a goddamn gumball machine, so the Well of Life and Explosive Well pair makes for a drip feed passive regen since we're not using Devour. It's a very strong combo. And lastly, on your class item, Breach and Clear. Tractor Cannon can do the same thing as previously mentioned, but you lose a large chunk of damage by not having Witherhoard. So, again, fuck Tractor Cannon. You should only be going with Tractor Cannon if Breach and Clear is not readily available to you, for whatever reason. It's not like it's hard to get, literally all you have to do is just play the game. I know it's a chore, but Jesus. Anyway, I know the 9 energy price tag kinda stings a little bit, but given what the mod can do, I actually think the price is rather fair. Also, for the record, you'll never hear me agree with the mod designers like that again, so just savor this moment while you get the chance. Now let's talk about some combat, because even if a build looks fancy on paper, that doesn't actually mean that it's not a dumpster fire in disguise. Building up stacks of death throws is easy enough. The trick here is that you just need a weapon in the energy slot, not necessarily a gun that fires green brick ammunition. So whatever your strongest energy slot is, or your most comfortable energy slot, either or, it'll be a massive boost to you as a player. As for me, I'm using a Shadow Price, one with Dragonfly specifically. For higher power mob crowds, I swap the backup mag to a minor or a major spec, one or the other, kinda depends on the scenario. A smart pick will have something like Demolitionist or Wellspring, but it's one of those things that's relative to whatever it is that you might be playing, so just be smart about your energy pick. Basically, if you know you're going to be up against 7,634 mob crowds with nothing but solar shields, take a solar weapon. Don't be an idiot. Energy kills will generate a stack of death throws. Each stack of death throws will boost grenade damage and return small amounts of grenade energy in the process. It'll stack on itself 5 times, lasting for 10 seconds per stack, like I mentioned earlier. So when your buffs are stacked and ready to go, you can start fastballing grenades as you please, because it turns into an ability chain. Grenades thrown will hit for extreme damage in comparison to their unbuffed counterparts, and stacking death throws from 1 to 5 will provide small amounts of grenade energy. It's easy. But it doesn't quite stop there. Next, we've got Impulse Recycler to talk about. It is a constant buff to your grenade regen, returning little bits of energy with every kill your grenade claims, be it a single enemy or a crowd of 10. It's fucking awesome. By far one of the best artifact mods we've ever gotten. I love this goddamn mod. You want to emphasize on the double stack because the energy return is significantly more noticeable with that second stack present. It is a huge help and a critical part of the grenade spam that we're trying to build here. Now we're going to talk about what you do for a priority target, something like a boss or a champion. Breach and Clear is going to debuff critical targets on a direct hit. That is the key there. That's also why we've got Witherhoard with us, because Witherhoard is going to burn the target and weaken it. The burn will then begin to hit for critical damage, and that weaken debuff will also multiply the damage of your grenades from death throws. The combo itself is rather straightforward. You build stacks of death throws off of mob crowds, debuff your critical target with direct hits from Witherhoard, and then jam an overcharged grenade into its mouth. The buffs are incredibly easy to stack. Witherhoard is incredibly easy to debuff with. Overcharged grenades will hit exponentially harder than they would without the debuff, and that creates a circle of extreme damage in respect to the fact that this is a grenade we're talking about. 10 seconds is far more than enough time for a single stack of death throws when you account for the damage buff it gives each grenade. I'd even go far enough to say that it might be a little too much time, actually, but I'm going to shut my gob about that because I don't want Bungie to fuck with Verity's brow. Oh yeah, Well of Life and Explosive Wellmaker are both in there somewhere too, mostly because all your grenades are going to be creating solar wells, so you may as well take advantage of the passive regen you get from them. Either way, that's about it for this one. If you want your build featured on my show, just become a member of my Discord, react to the rules, and carry your ass on over to BuildShare. Crucible, PvE, Stasis garbage builds, I'll take anything. Links are in the description. You guys know the drill. Me, in my cell, goodbye.